Welcome everybody back to Basketball GM as we're continuing our career with the Spirits of St. Louis. As in this time they did not just become a ghost team that got a cut of every NBA TV deal and instead stayed a team. Unfortunately, we haven't had the best history so far. I mean, we did have a winning record last year, but we had two tough seasons to begin with. But I think we're finally turning the corner here, even though we didn't make the playoffs last year. So we did make some trades, of course, in case people don't remember. We traded for Julius Erving and George McGinnis. Good news is McGinnis is still a very solid, all-star tier player. Unfortunately, Julius Erving hit 30 and dropped 7 points. But the good news is this is his last season of his contract, so we can probably just let him go in free agency next year. It's the end of the world. Bernard King, however, is getting better. He's at the verge of being an all-star player. Maurice Lucas is one of our original players, and he's still a solid player as he hits 28. And the rest of our roster is a mix of people who we don't want to use, and older players, and people who we will keep around. So what I'm going to do is first I'm going to set the playing time. So Greg Dean, our draft pick from 1979, gets no playing time, even though he's getting slightly better. Willie Smith is a veteran who just isn't worth it. Same thing with Jorge Kami, and same thing with Sly Williams, who's another young player who might become something eventually, but isn't so far. Dan Roundfield, after a couple of decent years of being a bench player, is just not it. So what we'll do is we'll mark these guys as minus players. Basically everybody but Ron Carter and Maurice Lucas, and we'll see how this goes. 39 overall. So if we look at the beginning power rankings for the season, we're actually one of the best teams in the league, but you know how that works. If we look at free agents for sort of possible good pickups, unfortunately, there's nobody really left to sign. Maybe we might sign one of these 40 guys to sort of help with our bench, but we'll see how that goes. First, let's go to the beginning of the regular season. And we'll let that load. That process. Come on, you can do it. All right, so Larry Keenan is still the best player in the league. Magic Johnson, however, is getting a lot better. Kareem's slowly slowing down. Always not great when we have the biggest declining player. But yeah, Magic Johnson's really good. He was the number one draft pick. Zidane Mafrif is an improvement. Bit of a surprise is Mike Evans, who might be something. If we look at our improving teams, so we're the number 4 top team, which again, I doubt. We were 44 and 38 last year, but I don't know. I question that. So let's begin with the first week of the season, and then we'll see how that goes. So just play 1 week and see how we're doing. Okay, so far we're 4-1. So far so good. Ron Carter is slightly injured. Wow, Mike Green is. I'm not going to adjust things based on two games, but yeah, so far not great. Bernard King's not having the best start to a season, but again, it's been a week. Other stuff might pop up. So let's get rolling with another week. Oof. Okay, so we're 7-5. So far, so good. If we're looking at things, the biggest problem is just our bench is a mess. Bernard King's still not doing great, so we might replace him with Lucas. We'll give him basically till the end of the month here. But yeah, Ron Carter is not that guy. Honestly, we'll move Butch Lee up slightly. We'll move Mike Green up. And these guys might move to 0 time because they're just total zeros. But yeah, we'll just see how this continues as we're still 7-5, which for the standings puts us as the number 3 seed, which again, not the best, but still pretty solid. Let's go another week. Okay, so we're 10-7, 10-8. Again, we got some slight injuries. Butch Lee's out for 6 games. Ooh, okay, so Mike Green. It's okay. So about half the season in, it's time to move Bernard King down to our 6th man. Uh, because he jumped to a 13.2 play in limited time. I'm guessing, like, yeah, we'll keep him, but you guys all get to be zeros. And is there anybody in the free agent pool worth trying? No. Okay, just no. Is there any trade proposals? Um, I mean, Butchley hasn't been good this season, so like having some like better, like if we want help with our bench. Hmm. This is interesting because let's look at like how Houston has been so far this season. Okay, so far they're going to give us Nader, Skinner, Barr, and Bond. So Skinner's been, I mean, Skinner, Barr has been great, but Skinner, Bond, I mean, so really we would just want Skinner and yeah, Skinner and Nader is all we'd really want. I mean, here's the thing, like again, if we go back to our roster, like Butch Lee has not been great, so the only thing is like he is young, but these guys are also like they're not old. Like it would be a jump in our like that's the only thing is like the only realistic thing is like our payroll because like if we look at our payroll so far, uh league finances. That's going to take a minute to load. Yeah, if you look at our payroll, slowly load because of course it will. We have the number two. So I think what we're going to do here is I'm going to see if we can adjust this trade a bit. Okay. And we're going to try for another second round pick. I doubt it'll work, but we'll at least try. I mean, worst case is like, yeah, survey says would make this deal work. Let's see what they say. No, I don't want your trash players. I'm sorry. And we're not really not going to give you Irving. That seems just dumb. And we'll bring in Bond just to do it. Okay, so good news. We did get the trade fixed. Sorry, I forgot that it would do it immediately. So yeah, we did get basically we sent over. We basically took Phil Bond's contract, who's another 50K, and we got rid of the second round we're giving up. So what we're going to do now is I think we're actually over now, and it is time to get rid of some trash. Okay, so what we've done is we're doing a bit of trading away. So what we have right now is what we've done is we put four of our players who aren't that good: Willie Smith, George Jami, Dan Ranfield, and Derek Dickey, along with a second rounder from a decent team, the Pacers, and we got some trade proposals. And right away, I see the trade that I want to make, as it is Mike Gale, who's out for 4 games, which is fine. He has 140K contract, but that'll actually lessen our total crowd because we are looking at 240K. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to these guys. Oh, and we're basically sending them back their second rounder, which is interesting. But yeah, so yeah, so far Mike Gale, he hasn't been great, but he can hopefully be better. And yeah, we can go ahead and propose this trade. And come on, you can do it, game. I got faith in you. All right, so now we just need to go to our roster and sort of remake our actual roster here. Yeah, we got rid of a ton of people, um, but I do think we have a better roster now. I mean, the game even agrees, even though we got some injured people. So, Miguel, you are not a starter. I'm sorry, buddy. And this is going to take a second to load up, unfortunately, because my Chrome does not like this game, unfortunately. All right, did some readjustments to the roster. So basically, starting lineup is a Malone, McGinnis, Roaches, Lucas Erving, Hurricane Star 6th man. Splinator is now our 7th man. Mike Gale is now our 8th man. So Mike Green is now our 9th man, playing limited minutes. We'll see how that goes. And then the rest of the roster is currently all zeros. We'll try Ron Carter at minus just because he is a 45. So we'll see how that goes. Now, after all that, let's go a week and see how that goes. Okay. Not great. I mean, not great so far, but we'll see. I mean, also we had some injuries, so we'll see how that rolls. Okay, yeah. On card, you go back to a 0. Mike Green's still okay at a 12.1. Mike Gale literally has played only 7 games, so we'll see how that goes. He might be a total loss, but I hope not. Swinator's doing well so far, so we'll see how that continues to roll as we play another week. There we go. Okay. So far, we're okay. That's good. Okay, so we're 17-15, still like barely a 500 team, which is not like what we want to be. But okay, so Mike Gale's not doing great at 4.8, but we'll see if he gets better. Bernard Kingsley in 9.1. So actually, Swen, you get to move into 6-man role. Sorry, like Bernard King's just not working out for us so far. It's kind of sad. I mean, he's still playing 30 minutes a game, so it's not the end of the world. Mike Gale, unless you get up above nearing a 10 soon, we'll have to deal with you as well. And if we look at the standings, so far, we're just out of the playoffs, which is unfortunate. So we have to get a little better. But also, like, this is like, it's literally like we're 4 games out, the number 2 seed is 2 games out. So that could be anything. So let's play another week. How about we stop losing games, guys? That'd be very helpful. Ah, man, it is. God, we just have. Okay, so Mike Gale's like slowly getting better. Mario King, unfortunately, is not. Spinator's doing well so far. Um, Honestly, it's time. Like, it's worth the risk. Sorry, Julius, you're now our sixth man. He's in a very, but Snader's doing real good. Like, he's 14.1 PER. He's doing well, and we'll do this. Like, we'll do this week and see how he will, because we do need a center. Okay, we're 22 and 22, so literally, like, oh God, this is annoying. Though we can't like be more than a 500 team. Like, yeah, I mean, we should make the playoffs, but we're having issues. Okay, so Moses, like, yeah, we'll keep unless we fall back to 500, and yeah. But Mike Gale's doing decently so far. Mike Green's at 11.9. Actually, let's just drop like yeah, Mike Gale to an 8.7. I like to drop him to like minus play and see how that rolls. A very like okay, 25 and 23, good so far. Um, Solid stuff. Okay, so we are getting there, 31 and 24. Um, and if we look at the standings, so yeah, we're now the number 3 seed. Like I said, we just needed a bit of a stretch, and now we're doing it. Hey, this is working. You know, until it stops working, I'm not going to change anything. Just play actually, yeah, to the All Star ring. So we are at 33 and 24. And let's look at the All Star games, the All Star teams rather. So for the East, George McGinnis is our only All Star, which is interesting. Um, so for the West, we got Rick Barry, Pete Maverick for Utah, Stan Nelson for Denver, Adrian Dantley for San Diego, and Jamal Wilkes rather for Golden State. Actually, let me hold on. Yeah, let's actually there we go. Okay, so starter wise. Okay, so yeah, let me actually change this as well. There we go. All right, so Barry Dantley, Tom Lagarde from the Lakers, which is interesting, is the starting center. And his first, Magic Johnson for Seattle is the first starting guard. And Jack Sigma gets his second All Star break. Also on the team, got Dan Issel, Pete Maravich in his sixth, and Jamal Wilkes in his third. Over in the East, we have Kent Benson for Boston in his third, Larry Keenan in his fourth, Kareem for Indiana in his 11th. We've got Dave Corzine in his first, and George McGinnis making his fourth. So there we go. Then we go back to the standings. We're now the number 2 seed, just behind the Rockets. Again, if we play another week, let's see how that rolls. I'm sure at some point we'll have a losing streak. So far, so good. Like yeah, we just needed an actual center, which is something that should have been obvious. But yeah, so far, like we're 62 games in. Mike Gale, Mike Green are doing good, basically playing limited minutes. Bernard King's like again, he's not been a star so far, but he's doing well. Julius Erving's doing great as a sixth man. Swinator, is doing 10-6 and and doing a 12.4 on the team. And otherwise things are doing well so far. Again, I'm not changing anything until we have any sort of downfall as far as our record. Ooh, well, yeah, Malone missed a couple games, so that's fine. So we're heading to the home stretch. We're the number 4 seed, which could easily be the number 2 or number 1 seed. Unless we really fall apart, we're getting into the playoffs. On the other side, let's look at the best teams and who they're. Honestly, any team could win the East. We got 6 sort of 4 or 5 mini teams. So Seattle, which we'll wait to load up here. So Seattle is led by Magic Johnson, of course, and they also have Dennis Johnson, Otis Birdsong, and a solid bench. Quick, sorry. And Phoenix is led by, yeah, I mean, they just have a great team. Jack Sikkim is obviously their top guy, but Paul Westfall's still doing well. Alvin Adams, Robin Jones, decent bench. Uh, Lakers are tries doing good with not like no standouts. Like Tom Lagarde's okay, like he's improved well. Michael Thompson, Dave Greenwood, but that's really about it. Honestly, like they're worse than us and they're doing a lot better, so that's interesting. Um, Clippers are 45 and 24. They've got Adrian Dantley, Johnny Davis, Bob McAdoo, Bill Walton, who's still around. Interesting. And yeah, that's really about it. And then we got the Warriors, who have two really good players in Wilkes and Barry, and then a bunch of illustrated players, including Phil Smith and Eddie Jordan. Interesting. All right, let's go back to our roster, and we'll play out another week. Oops, let's try that again. Another week. Ooh, okay, losses. Oh, come on. Ooh, not okay. Not bad, not bad. Okay, so we're 43 and 72. And standing wise, we are the number 4 seed. So, but we have an outside chance at winning the number 1 seed. Because again, we're only 2 games out from the number 1 seed. As Cleveland has taken over the number 1 seed. Interesting. Out west, it's like, yeah, Seattle's probably going to win the title, start running away. Again, let's get rolling. Okay. Okay, so 48 and 34. So let's look at the final standings. We're going to playoffs. So we end up getting the number 2 seed in sort of a three-way tie, including a. I guess they can't do three-way ties, so they did the head-to-head record of Washington, Cleveland, and head-to-head record of us. Atlanta was the number 5 seed. Indiana made the playoffs in a head-to-head record. Out west, Seattle got 64 games. The West has 4 other teams that won 50 games each. So it's going to be very tough for us out in the West to make things. But first, let's go through the first round. Obviously, we're not playing it. Okay, so Washington made it. Cleveland made it. Milwaukee upset San Diego. So let's go to those games real quick. I want to see if it was just an injury or if it was just like Milwaukee winning over. No, just yeah, they just got outplayed. Interesting. Yeah, I mean they got outplayed. No injuries for San Diego. Yeah, it was fine. Interesting. All right. So first, let's go to the daily schedule, and let's sim our first game. Oof. All right. So we lost 96-84. Let's see here. What's going on? So okay. I mean, Dave Roach just fouled out. Smader got in foul trouble. Yeah. So lots of fouls on our end. Mike Green and Mike Gale honestly probably play too often because of the foul trouble. But yeah, outside of that, like nothing else we can really control. So let's sim the next game. And can we make it? Come on. We want to come back? Is it simming? Or what? Hold on. I might actually have to hit the button here. Okay, game two, we make a comeback, winning by 1 point. So let's see here. Yeah, okay, so Mike Reed didn't even play. Yeah, so Dave Rupschitz had 14 points and 11 rebounds. Bernard King off the bench had 19 points. So that was a big game for him. Otherwise, like a pretty solid effort, like from everybody. So there we go. And then let's go to the third game of the series. And Washington gets the win back 106 to 88. Um, Again, like nothing bad here. I mean, Mike Yale should not be playing 20 minutes probably, but he's already on minus. Um, yeah, so 2-1. Yeah, and so if we go back to the playoffs, Seattle's up 2-1 on Phoenix, on Seattle, which would be a big upset. 2-1. Milwaukee is getting the advantage over LA, which would be a big upset. Houston is leading Cleveland 3-0, which is interesting. So again, if we go to, okay, so I actually want to go to our roster. Hey George, yeah, this is, oops, not minus, it's plus. There we go. You are best players. You're playing more for the playoffs. And let's see how that works out. So for game four, big win. Oh, Washington. Oh God. 88 to 85. Wow. Okay. That's unfortunate. Like that's oof. Oof. Okay. We're sort of at the like the preface is here. Will we get knocked out of the playoffs in the semifinals here? Survey says, can we make it? We make a comeback. Hurrah! 101 to 80. Big win. Big win. Thank you. Ropeshits gets 25. And 8. Soynator, it comes up big with 16 and 15. Moses gets 16 and 9. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Then if we go back to the playoffs, Seattle's Phoenix is up 3-2. Seattle's come back. Milwaukee's up 3-2. Washington's up 3-2. And Houston is up 3-2. So again, um, I mean, our season's on the line. So guess what? It's game time. We're either getting knocked out here or we're losing. So survey says, ooh, all right, that's series. We lose 85 to 75. I mean, our best players, they do their best, but unfortunately, Dave Roses goes 3 for 13. Um, Gordonisk does well, but Maurice Lucas just isn't that great. Moses is good, but like yeah, it just wasn't enough. And yet, like they beat us. That's that. We go to playoffs. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Seventh game. So actually, I want to see this. So let's go to our daily schedule. Like this is a huge, like big comeback for LA and Milwaukee. So let's go there. Ooh, and Magic Johnson is out for 8 games. Wow. Okay, that explains a lot. So first let's go to LA and Milwaukee. So let's watch that game. End of the first quarter. Milwaukee's up 18 to 15. 44-37. Roy Washington is really putting it in with Clint Richardson off the bench. I mean, they're trying their best, but they're just not doing great. All right. 63-55. I mean, the Lakers still have a chance. They're only down 8. 71-68. Okay, they begun to make a comeback. So let's go to 3 minutes left. 77-74. Okay, so let's see what happens here. 2 points from Thompson. Lakers down 1. Thies attempts a shot. It's good. Milwaukee back up 3. Lagarde tries a shot from mid-range. It's no good. Lagarde grabs his own rebound. Woodside goes for the shot. Layup attempt rolls out. Milwaukee gets the ball back. Thies attempts. Blocked by Dave Twarchetz. Dunn comes back with a low post shot. Blocked by Lanier. Greenwood grabs the offensive rebound. McCall Thompson hits a low post shot. Shooting foul by Lanier. Thompson drains free throw 1. Thompson drains free throw 2. It's a 1-point game. Rudy comes back. The shot rims out. Lanier grabs the offensive rebound. Wilson Washington turns the ball over. Greenwood turns the ball back over. Hamilton, no good. Shot at the rim. Lagarde comes back. Washington blocks the rim. Rudy grabs offensive rebound. Lanier hits the mid-range shot. No good. Dunn grabs the defensive rebound. Back down to Dave Greenwood. Shooting foul. Greenwood free throw. Tie game. Lakers have the lead with 48 seconds left. For the first time probably in the game, Lanier hits a low post shot. It rims out with 38 seconds left. Thompson grabs a defense rebound. Lagarde turns the ball over. Roy Hamilton vaults a shot at the end. Layup attempt rolls out with 9 seconds left. Jared Green grabs a defensive rebound. Timeout called. Non-shooting foul on Dave Washington, so 2 free throws for Dave Greenwood. Greenwood makes the first free throw, and Dave Greenwood makes the second free throw. Lagarde steals the ball from Thies at the end of the game. And there you go. That is the game. Long three-pointer by Milwaukee, and it's over. And the Lakers complete the comeback, and they will advance to the conference finals. So, strong game. Dave Greenwood gets 21 points. T.R. Dunn gets 16 and 11. Michael Thompson was 17 and 10. Really strong game, and a very impressive game, and a good comeback for the Lakers near the end there. And now let's go to Seattle, where they're going to try to make the game here. So it's loading up. All right, so Magic is not playing. Wow. All right. So they might be screwed here. Still 3-point lead for Supersonics through the first quarter. Through the second quarter, up by 8. Wow. Okay, so what's happening here? Oh, Otis Birdsong. Okay, so they're doing this without Magic. 12-point lead. 10-point lead with 6 minutes left. And yeah, what's happening here? Alvin Adams has not been good. Outside of that, I mean, yeah, Paul Westphal is 4 for 14. Jack Strickland's doing well. But yeah, like Otis Birdsong has taken back over. Really solid game. So, okay, so 3 minutes left. Is it even a game? 13 points left. 2 minutes left. It's a 15-point game. With 34 seconds game, it's a 13-point game. Yeah, I mean, this has been a great game. As John Long gets a shot in at the end. But yeah, that's it. A huge comeback win as Supersonics win the 7th game, and they advance into the conference finals. Huge game. So, okay, so let me just go back to the playoffs, and I want to see here what happened with both series. Let's see here, like, yeah, I want to see here. Okay, so if we go back to their, yeah. The Lakers won the first game pretty easily here. Interesting. Nobody got injured, it looks like. Okay. Again, no injuries. Well, McCall Thompson missed part of this game, so I guess you could blame that. But yeah, they were at full strength the next game, and yeah, I mean, Washington got 28 points, and then yeah, they came back. Yeah, no injuries, just playing a good game, and same thing in game three. I mean, I guess like yeah, Lakers like yeah, their point guard even missed most of game six, and they still managed to pull out the win. So really shockingly, and I'm going to guess it's the same thing with Seattle. We go back to game one. Yeah, strong win for Phoenix to start out. Then Seattle, yeah, nothing going on, just like outplayed. Phoenix got Phoenix gained the advantage here. Still nothing going on. Then Phoenix really took control. So yeah, I mean they just outplayed them. Jackie Williams going nuts with 34 points. Well, yeah, they made the comeback. Game two, Jack Sigma got 32 points. Nobody else was really good. This is game, and this is where Magic Johnson got injured. So even in game six with no Magic, they managed to get the win by 8. So really strong. All right, interesting. Let's go to playoffs. So, all right. LA and Houston win game one. LA comes back. Seattle comes back to tied up in game two. LA win games three. LA's at a 3-1 lead, so is Houston. And yep, all right. I mean, they just couldn't pull it off. Let's see. Was there any other injuries for Seattle, or was it just no Magic? I imagine. Yeah. Okay. So Magic did come back, but it wasn't enough. All right. Wow. Huge injury affecting things. But yeah, LA's number 2 seed, Houston's number 1 seed. Let's see how this goes. Houston wins game 1. LA wins game 2. Oh, right. We can. Sorry, I forgot we can do the daily schedule for this. Houston wins games 2. Houston game 3. Yeah, no real injuries. I mean, Bill Bennett's out for 3 games, and then can Houston win the title over the Lakers in game 5? And it is no loss. LA. LA makes a stand. Game 5 behind 21 points from Tom Lagarde. And then in game 6, Houston wins the title 4-2 behind Artis Gilmore 17 points and a very strong year. So season summary. So yeah, Artis Gilmore is your finals MVP. Your MVP is Kent Benson. Sixth man of the year is Julius Erving for us. Moses Malone makes a second all defensive team. No all NBA teams, but it's very solid year. Magic Johnson obviously is the rookie of the year as he was the runner up for the MVP. So yeah, interesting stuff. Again, overall, a very solid year. Like only a couple games better than last year, but we got to the conference semifinals. Honestly, we need to work on our bench for next year. Like we need some 50s to make things up. If we're not like, because we need a very solid like series of 50 level players in order to make up for everything else. Hopefully Cy Williams will get better, but yeah, that's about it. So let's go through to the expansion draft. All right, time for an expansion draft. So let's see who we can protect. Yeah, we're staying with St. Louis. Come on now. All right, so we can protect 9 players. So I mean, this is gonna be fairly easy. Moses gets protected. Bernard gets protected. George gets protected. Lucas gets protected. Maurice gets protected. Sly gets protected as a possible great player. Nader gets protected. Erving gets protected. And so does Mike Gale. So yeah, we basically just have a bunch of crap waiting for them. So let's go to the expansion draft. The first pick of the expansion draft is going to be Ron Carter from St. Louis. Because yeah, I mean, you can have him, honestly. I expected Bob Lehner from Milwaukee, who just got to the semifinals. I mean, I guess he's old and has a huge contract, so there's that. Anthony Roberts from Cleveland. Yeah, I mean, the rest of these players are all players I expect, like high to mid 40s and older players. So there you go. All right, draft is over. And now we go to the draft lottery, which is just, again, so far just New Jersey and Utah. So it is going to be New Jersey with the number 1 draft pick. All right, so let's go to the draft. We have the number 17 pick. There's honestly not a ton of great players in here. I mean, there's Kiki, there's Kevin McHale, but outside of that, like, I'm okay just waiting for our draft pick to come up. So let's go to our draft pick. So Kevin McHale goes to the Jazz, Joe Barricaro goes to the Nets, Andrew Toney goes to Portland, Kiki goes to Dallas, and honestly, we need a guard. So let's go with Larry Drew. Let's see, any other interesting picks? Wes Matthews goes to Cleveland. Rick Mahorn goes to Golden State. All right, so we have a 2nd round draft pick. And honestly, just to see if he develops, let's go with Bill Laimbeer. And that's the draft. All right, so now I got some expiring contracts to think about. All right, so I mean, Bernard King, yeah. Mike Green, God, Mike Green's interesting because he didn't do terrible, but he didn't do great either. Same thing. I mean, okay, only because they're both 1-year contracts is we will go to Mike Gale. We'll sign him for a year contract, and same thing for Mike Green because again, a player of their levels, because of the lack of free agents, most likely is going to be way too expensive. Okay. So here's the thing. Like, if we go look at the upcoming free agents real quick. Like, Irving's one of the best. So we're not going to sign somebody better than him. So I think what we got to do here is sign him, maybe for a shorter contract and just pay more. We're not resigning Phil Bond. Sorry, guys. So yeah, we are going to bite the bullet on Erving for 2 years at 300K, and then we'll see how that goes. So let's move on to free agency. All right. So yeah, as you can see, these are sort of the issues. Um, I want to be somewhat realistic in the sense that, like, yeah, we're already way above luxury tax. So yeah, let's go with these two guys to hopefully with our bench, they won't be terrible. Cornelius Cash and Mike Barr. Welcome to the Spirits of St. Louis. And just because I'm interested, I'm going to track where Keenan, Heron, and Issel all signed for. Because Keenan has played the last couple years for San Antonio. Heron's played the first 2 years of his career for Cleveland. And Issel's played the first 4 year of his career for Denver. So, hey, one day in, no signings. Another day in. Okay, so Keenan's gone, and he is now a member of the 76ers. Interesting. Okay, Heron and Issel are still here. Heron's gone, and he is now a member of the Atlanta Hawks. Now will Issel, after the longtime Nugget, leave Denver? Survey says he will. Well, has he? He has. He has gone to Detroit. All right, so interesting. So now we are going to go to the preseason and see how things scratch out. So I'm hoping we get some positives from our rookies. Sly Williams actually advances to be a positive player, and our veterans don't completely crash out. Bernard King hopefully gets above a 60, and hopefully our starters aren't too terrible. Survey says, let's see how this goes. Processing. Survey says. Okay. So let's do a quick review. Moses Malone at 26 is now a 63-65. George McGinnis, unfortunately, is now a 56. Dave Rushes is a 54. Maurice Lucas is a 54. Mike Barr got a little better after we signed him away. Swinader is still a 49. Julius Erving is now down to a 54. Bernard King, hopefully, should be the starter he should be. Mike Yale has improved to a 53. Cornelius Cash was a bad signing. Mike Green improved, so he might be a positive player. Sly Williams hopefully be a solid bench player. Bill Embiid might be something, but he isn't quite, and Larry Drew is something. So, I mean, again, positives and negatives. So, Bernard King and Moses Malone are now both all-star caliber players again. McGinnis, Ropeshits, and Erving could honestly all be trade bait. If we can figure out a good deal for like a top tier player. Maurice Lucas should be still solid. Mike Barr, yeah. So we'll just see how this goes. But I hope you enjoy this. If you enjoy this, go ahead and give a like. Comment below why you're enjoying and not enjoying. And subscribe to the channel for plenty of this content as we continue along with Spears of St. Louis. And have our other series including TW 2020 and some Journey of Wrestling. That's it for now. So talk to you later and adios. Have a good one.